Welcome to the Certification Practice channel. We offer high-quality, realistic practice exams for the AWS Certified Machine Learning specialty, created by experts and verified against official documentation. Our platform at certificationpractice.com is free to use, so you can test your knowledge anytime during your prep. So here's something that catches a lot of candidates off guard with this exam. You don't need to be a math expert. You don't need to derive algorithms from scratch. What this exam actually tests is your ability to make the right decisions. Choosing the correct AWS service, selecting the appropriate model for a business problem, and knowing when machine learning is even the right solution in the first place. Stay with me to the end, and I'll show you exactly how to approach the scenario-based questions that make or break your score. And here's your immediate takeaway. The exam uses a compensation-based scoring model. You need 750 out of 1,000 to pass, but you don't have to ace every topic. Your strengths can carry areas where you're weaker. Now, let's talk about what actually matters on this exam. Modeling takes up 36% of your score, making it the largest focus area. But here's the insight that separates passing candidates from struggling ones. The exam doesn't ask you to build models from scratch. It asks you to explain why you'd choose XGBoost over linear regression, or when transfer learning makes sense versus training from scratch. You need intuition, not implementation details. Another critical area is understanding the full data pipeline. 20% of the exam covers data engineering. Things like knowing when to use S3 versus EBS versus EFS, or choosing between Kinesis for streaming and Glue for batch processing. The questions often present scenarios where multiple services could technically work, but one is clearly better aligned with the requirements. And critically, you must know your evaluation metrics cold. Precision, recall, F1 score, AUC ROC, confusion matrices. The exam will describe a business scenario and ask which metric matters most. A fraud detection system cares deeply about recall. A spam filter might prioritize precision. Understanding these trade-offs is essential. Now, let me highlight something candidates often overlook. This exam heavily tests AWS Well-Architected framework best practices. Expect questions about deploying across multiple availability zones, using IAM policies for security, monitoring with CloudWatch, and encryption for compliance. These operational concerns show up throughout the exam, not in a separate section. Also, pay attention to hyperparameter optimization. Knowing when to apply L1 versus L2 regularization, understanding dropout for neural networks, and recognizing how tree depth affects random forests. These details appear frequently in scenario questions. For logistics, you'll face 65 questions total, but only 50 are scored. The other 15 are unscored experimental questions, and you won't know which are which. Treat every question seriously. The exam costs $300, and your certification remains valid for 3 years. For pacing, flag questions that require deep analysis and move on. Come back to them after you've captured the easier points. Many candidates run short on time because they get stuck overthinking early questions. So let me bring this together. Remember what I said at the start about decision-making being the core skill? That's your exam strategy in a nutshell. When you see a scenario question, ask yourself, what is the business problem? What AWS service fits best? And what model or metric aligns with the desired outcome? Practice thinking through that framework, and the answers become much clearer. If you want to test where you stand right now, our practice exams at certificationpractice.com are aligned with the AWS Certified Machine Learning specialty, kept up to date, and designed to mirror the real exam experience. Good luck with your preparation.